Right. Take 160 something. No, I'm only joking, but I do keep restarting this because I just don't know how to start this video. I'm so used to doing shorts, and it's really unusual talking to a camera on a tripod. Well, I'm talking to my phone on a tripod, but still, it's just weird. I'm sat on an exercise ball in case you hear some weird and wonderful noises. Just know it's the ball, not me. Right, let me breathe. I can't retake this video. Stop overthinking, stop procrastinating. You've got this. Just be natural, be you. Let's do this. And if there's other noises around, honestly, I can't help that, unfortunately. That's my surroundings. No more excuses, I've got this. Right, so this is the first part of my story to do with acting and performing. I say it's first stage, I might end up squeezing it all into one. Let's see by the end of this. Don't hold me to it. Let's see what happens. But my first experience with performing is back when, I don't know, I was probably about, this is nothing. I can't tell you ages because it's just like I can't remember. I can't remember the finer details, but I'll try my best with what I do remember. But I remember in school, like acting out and performing, I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. And I remember just doing performances like that in our playground. And again, doing like dances for my mum and the rest of the household. Just always coming up with something, directing something and then performing it. And also wanting to go in, I think it was called Stars in Their Eyes. We wanted to, like me and my friends wanted to do Atomic Kitten. I think you mimed it in that, but we didn't do it, unfortunately. Well, I'm kind of glad maybe because it probably would have been disastrous. So I'm glad that's not out there. And my mum and nan said that I used to apparently perform when my nan used to work in a care home. So I used to perform to all the residents apparently, and it would be Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You. Wow. That's what apparently I was singing as a very, very little girl. Can't remember it, have no recollection of it. There's no evidence of this, so I've just got to believe him. So apparently I've always been performing, but I don't remember ever in my life when I was younger thinking what I want to be when I'm older. I have no idea. I have asked my mum and that, and she don't really remember either. But I don't remember saying, I want to be an actress, I want to be a singer, I want to be a dancer. I don't remember that. It's only when it got to, again, I'm not sure how old I was. I was either 13 or 14 when I was sat in the corridor of my secondary school, and it was after school. School had finished and I was staying at my friend's house, and we was in the corridor of the performing arts room, basically. Performing arts room, like the performing arts building. And they was putting on a show, and I remember looking through the glass panels of the door and just watching, and I think I was hanging about because I fancied someone, but I can't fully remember. But anyway, they come out and they asked me and my friend if we wanted to audition for a role for in the performance they was doing, and we was like, yeah, sure. So we went into another room and they gave us directions on what we need to do. Again, I can't fully remember. I can picture like walking straight line and doing something, but again, I can't remember if we sung, I can't remember if we had to talk, can't remember what the miming was. No idea, I can't tell. I just remember I didn't feel nervous. I didn't feel anything really. I must have felt excitement, but I don't remember feeling like, oh my god, I can't do this, I'm nervous, blah blah blah. It's like that weren't a thing when I was younger, young teenager. Missed them times of that thought process because now I just overthink everything. But anyway, we did it, and then I was told I got the role as Simba in The Lion King, and my friend got the role as Nala, and that's where it all begun really. We did our first performance, and that was an experience that I can't explain. I can't fully remember again, but I just remember getting so many compliments and praise. And that's something I hadn't really ever experienced in my life until then. And I'm pretty sure I was 14. I'm sure it was 14. Because there is a newspaper article somewhere, and I'm sure the date made me 14. But anyway, And I was like, wow, I found something I'm good at. I found something I'm getting recognised for. I'm getting all this praise and acknowledgement. I'm getting attention. Like, wow, people were talking about me in a positive light. Again, something I wasn't fully used to. And even the teachers, I remember the teachers all talking because I was quite naughty in school. And even those teachers, I think, were shocked that I was able to focus and be like this totally different person in the performance. So I just remember getting a lot of praise for that. And then from there, I just wanted to be in every school show we did in the secondary school. And I think we did like Oliver, we did Technicolor Dreamcoat, Joe's in Technicolor Dreamcoat, and a few other things. And then I'd perform in the talent shows with my bestest friends. And again, I would direct that. I'd do like a duet with one of my best friends, and I'll do like a dance with my other best friend. Always so cringe, and like if I look back, I'm like, oh. And again, don't have evidence of this really, and that it upsets me a little bit because I can't look back. But there's no video evidence. Apparently, it was all recorded, but I have no way of getting hold of it. I have asked, but apparently no one has it. So yes, it's unfortunate. But again, I would get praised for these performances. Not too much on the talent show ones because they were just cringe. But on the school performance shows that we'd do, I'd get compliments. I probably am going to squeeze this into one video, maybe. Pretty long. But anyway, focus. I get distracted really easy. So then once I did that, again, I'm probably forgetting little details in there, and I'm going to be after this, be like, for God's sake, I forgot to say this bit. It's like the vital part of the story. But anyway, I was like loving it. I was enjoying rehearsals, enjoying performing. I felt like I was just a natural to it. I didn't have to overwork. Like I didn't have to. It was just like I could just do it. Like really good at it. And one thing that I felt I was good at and believed it, and yeah, apparently I was very modest though. At the time I didn't understand what that word meant, but I was very modest, apparently, that's what my teacher said. And my drama teacher, Chris Jewell, he was a huge influence. He really believed in me and saw something and kept pushing me. So then I stayed on for college, so I did the BTEC National Diploma in Performing Arts Performance at the same secondary school. While I was doing that, I did like a little experience in 6 weeks holidays with the National Youth Theatre, and that was so fun. The experience was amazing. I felt so welcomed. I felt like I belonged. I didn't feel judged. I felt like on top of the world. I felt so happy. It's the happiest I can ever remember feeling, and I think at that time I was 17, and I just felt so happy. And then I decided to go and audition for the National Youth Theatre, and went to the audition, got a place to be a member with them. So because I was now a member, you had to go and do their, I think it was like 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever it was. I know it's the same thing basically, sort of, training. And I went there. It was at Lambda, I think it's called Lambda. And I ended up partnering up with this other boy because it just felt, this was my first negative experience in that acting performing world. It was just like a whole different thing. It was like I was now taken out of my comfort zone. I was now around different people that spoke differently, had different accents, that was of a different class. And I just felt like I didn't fit in. I felt like I didn't belong. I felt really, don't know, I think I started to doubt myself and question if I'm actually good at performing and good at what I'm doing. It just, yeah, it didn't feel right. And then obviously when I went back to college, there was the people in the college group that I was with, because I got into forensic scientist books, like into the Moors murders and all that, and I got fascinated by the murders and how they committed the murders and all that, like in terms of what was going on in their head. I was fascinated by humans, like what would make them do that? Like it's disgusting, it's sick, I don't agree with it, it's just horrific. And it really upsets me actually that people are capable of this. But I was just fascinated in it and how you find out basically what forensic scientists do. So I'd get the books and get into it, and then I spoke about it at college, and then I probably said things wrongly as a teenager, like, oh, I know how to kill someone, I know how to do this, I know how to do that, not really knowing the heaviness of it. but it really, apparently really affected everyone. So we ended up having a big meeting, and there was a big circle, and it was all towards me. How no one liked me, how everyone was scared of me, how people felt uncomfortable around me, how they thought I was this and that. And unfortunately, everyone got it wrong. And I know back then I was going through a lot personally, and no one knew that, not one person. And it's not an excuse, I know, but it just got me so wrong, and it really broke my heart and upset me. And I think that disheartened me in college for the rest of it. Like, again, I ended up getting on with everyone. We all spoke. We was mature enough to communicate through it. At first, I was really upset and hurt, but again, like I said, I'm glad we did have the conversation because we bonded and stuff. So anyway, I went on to finish college, completed that, and then my headmaster of the school, I think it was called Mr. Barham. Again, I can't remember these things. A lot of people can remember this stuff. Not sure why I can't. But Mr. Barham gave me an opportunity to stay on for a year after I finished college to be a teacher's assistant in the drama department and the dance department, blah, blah, blah. Not always the dance though, because I could help with the BTEC as well. So I was meant to be the assistant director for the BTEC department. That weren't really a thing because, yeah, that's a whole nother story. Didn't really fit in with the head of the drama department. Me and her just didn't bond, click, and she had her other people around her that basically took that role on. So I'd go up to like dance and help there and just hang out there, whatever. But I would do from year 7 to year 11, and like the GCSE drama, obviously that's year 11, year 10. And I just started feeling really low and really depressed now. Looking back on it, I didn't know that, but I was so depressed. I was just really unmotivated. At this time as well, I don't know if it contributed to, I was now into like my first ever serious relationship, and I thought that my whole life is meant to be that person because I never had a relationship before, and it was just, I didn't know how to navigate it and find balance. I felt like I had to do everything to be with them. Like, if there was a day off, I had to be with them. I always had to be with them. I was very needy, and looking back now, it wasn't healthy, it wasn't good. I didn't make the best choices because I was in my first serious relationship. But in class as well, I'd just start falling asleep. I'd feel really sick, I'd feel really dizzy, I'd feel exhausted, I feel like I had no energy to keep my eyes awake, like the heaviness on my head just felt like so lethargic and nauseous and like drained. And I probably just woke up as well, and that's how I felt. I just didn't have the energy. The only time I did is when the kids would be naughty, and it would just make me laugh so much. Or if I was performing, because I might have to step in and perform or help, and then I felt good then. But at the same time, I just felt like, I just couldn't be asked. But then also at that same time, I went on the contraceptive pill. And thinking back now, I don't know if that contributed as well to my mood and how I was physically feeling. I'll never know, but I just know I didn't have a good experience there. So once the year was up, I was then meant to go to university. I'm probably talking really fast, I'm so sorry. It's because I'm worried about losing track. I hope it's still recording as well, because I have no idea. I have no idea if you can see me either. But let's just go with it. Anyway, I need water. I don't have any left. No. What am I talking about? So then, yeah, I was meant to go to university, but that didn't happen. But I'll end it with, once my year was up at the school of being a TA for the drama department, again, I was involved in the school performances and the BTEC performances, which I loved, which was great. I loved the experience. We did Sweeney Todd, Oedipus, all that. I loved it. But that was again where I started to see a shift, because there was it Sweeney Todd? Yeah, Sweeney Todd. I can't remember her name. There, somebody look up there. City on fire. Anyway, that role. I had to audition with another girl. Again, that girl was in a year above, I believe, and she was very close with our head of drama teacher, and that's what I mean, she already had her help. So I already knew that she would probably be more favoured and be picked. So when we had to audition for somebody look up there, I think that's the song, whatever. whatever that role is in Sweeney Todd, it's the crazy lady, I think she's called. Can't tell you. Again, so I block it out, but I remember going in the room to do the audition. She did hers. I said, no, she can go first. And then it was my turn, and I just froze, and I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Give it to her. And that was so out of character for me, because I was always very confident. I was always very, but it was just like I was being crushed, like throughout the years in college, and then the last bit, it was just like I was losing all like anything. And it really upset me. I was like, oh, I didn't believe in myself anymore. I didn't think I was good enough. I knew that she would probably get the role, so I just let her have it. Maybe I didn't want, I don't know. I just didn't believe in myself, and I'm really upset at myself for that. And it really did affect me. But it's okay, it's what it is. Just, yeah, I should have just done it, believed in myself, but I can't take it back, I can't go back, I can learn from it, that's what I can do. But yeah, let's leave it at that. So now I've finished that job, my last year there, my last day. Not one person said bye, not one person said good luck, not one person got me a card or anything to say thank you, anything. I literally just walked out with nothing, and that really upset and hurt me as well. Again, that made me question a lot. So I'll leave it there. So there will be a part 2. I probably waffled too much in that part 1. And again, like I said, I probably missed out some little details, but I'm giving like an overall. I don't want to go too detailed or here and there, because there's so many levels I could potentially, but if I give like a overview, I guess that's something, right? So stay tuned. No, that's not what you say. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share, comment, and like. No, that's not what you say. But anyway, if you did watch this video and got to this part, thank you. I really appreciate your time and energy for watching my video. I hope you have a lovely day. And I'm grateful that I actually recorded this video. And I did it. What are you grateful for today?